Welcome to our in-depth technical analysis of NVIDIA, ticker symbol NVDA, traded on the NASDAQ. In this video, we'll break down the latest price action, key technical indicators, and what they reveal about the stock's current momentum and potential direction. Whether you're an active trader or a long-term investor, understanding these signals can help you make more informed decisions. Let's start by setting the stage with the current price and the period we're analyzing. As of December 18, 2025, NVDA is trading at $170.94, and we'll be looking at data from the last 3 months, covering 63 trading days. Current price of NVDA stands at $170.94. This value is significant when compared to its recent highs and lows over the past 3 months. By examining where the price sits relative to its moving averages and historical ranges, we can begin to understand the prevailing sentiment in the market. This price point also serves as a reference for evaluating support and resistance levels, which we'll discuss in detail later. Let's keep this number in mind as we move through the technical indicators and see how it fits into the broader trend. Let's begin with the short-term moving averages, such as the 5-day and 10-day SMAs and EMAs. Currently, the 5-day SMA is at 176.18 and the 10-day SMA is at 180.1, both above the current price. This suggests that NVDA has recently experienced a downward move, with the price falling below its short-term averages. These moving averages often act as dynamic resistance levels, and when the price is below them, it can indicate short-term bearish momentum. We'll see if this pattern holds as we examine longer-term averages. Moving to the medium term, we'll look at the 20-day and 30-day SMAs and EMAs. The 20-day SMA stands at 180.28, and the 30-day SMA is at 183.6. Again, both are above the current price, reinforcing the idea that NVDA has been in a short-term downtrend. These averages help smooth out daily volatility and provide a clearer picture of the prevailing trend. When the price remains below these levels, it often signals continued weakness unless a reversal occurs. Looking further out, the 50-day and 100-day SMAs are at 186.18 and 182.34 respectively. The 200-day SMA is at 156.92, which is below the current price, indicating that the long-term trend is still positive. However, the fact that the price is below most short and medium-term averages, but above the 200-day SMA, suggests a possible correction within a longer-term uptrend. This is a classic setup where traders watch for signs of either a rebound or further weakness. Exponential moving averages EMAs give more weight to recent prices. The 50-day EMA is at 182.79 and the 100-day EMA is at 177.79. Both are above the current price, reinforcing the bearish short-term outlook. EMAs are particularly useful for identifying trend changes earlier than SMAs. The alignment of these EMAs above the current price suggests that sellers have been in control recently, and a break above these levels could be an early sign of a reversal. Bollinger Bands are a popular tool for measuring volatility and identifying overbought or oversold conditions. For NVDA, the upper band is at 187.75, the middle band at 180.28, and the lower band at 172.81. The current price is close to the lower band, which can sometimes signal that the stock is oversold and may be due for a bounce. However, it's important to consider this in the context of other indicators before making any conclusions. MACD, or Moving Average Convergence Divergence, is a momentum indicator that helps identify trend changes. Currently, NVDA's MACD is at -2.89, with a signal line at -2.15 and a histogram at -0.741. These negative values indicate bearish momentum. The MACD momentum is also negative, reinforcing the idea that sellers are dominating. Watching for a crossover or a change in the histogram can provide early clues to a shift in trend. Relative Strength Index, or RSI, measures the speed and change of price movements. NVDA's 14-day RSI is at 37.15, which is below the neutral 50 level and approaching the oversold threshold of 30. This suggests that the stock has been under selling pressure, but it's not yet in extreme oversold territory. Monitoring RSI can help traders anticipate potential reversals or continued weakness. Stochastic Oscillator is another momentum indicator, with the 14-day %K at 22.77 and %D at 32.28. Both values are below 50, indicating that NVDA is in a bearish phase. Stochastic RSI-K is at 0, which is extremely low and often signals an oversold condition. These readings suggest that the stock could be due for a technical bounce, but confirmation from other indicators is needed. Momentum indicators like the 10-day and 20-day momentum values are both negative, at -8.65 and -10.42 respectively. The rate of change ROC over 14 days is -5.17, further confirming the recent downward movement. These indicators help quantify the strength and direction of the trend, and negative values reinforce the current bearish sentiment in NVDA's price action. Average True Range ATR is a measure of volatility, and for NVDA the 14-day ATR is 6.22. The NATR or normalized ATR is 3.64 and the 30-day volatility is 2.32. These values indicate that NVDA has experienced moderate volatility recently. Higher volatility can mean larger price swings, which is important for both risk management and identifying trading opportunities. Volume plays a crucial role in technical analysis. NVDA's on-balance volume OBV is at 26.97 billion, and the accumulation distribution AD value is 27.47 billion. The volume ratio over 20 days is 1.09, and the relative volume is 1.15, indicating slightly higher than average trading activity. Volume spikes often precede major price moves, so keeping an eye on these metrics can provide early warning of trend changes. Average Directional Index (ADX) measures trend strength. NVDA's ADX is at 12.89, which is considered weak and suggests that the current trend lacks conviction. The ADXR is at 13.82 and the DX is at 25.84. These values indicate that while there is a trend present, it's not particularly strong, and the market could be susceptible to sudden reversals or sideways movement. Key support and resistance levels help traders identify potential entry and exit points. For NVDA, the nearest support is at $168.79, while resistance is at $174.61. The pivot point is at $172.46. These levels are derived from recent price action and can act as psychological barrier. If the price breaks below support, further downside is possible, while a move above resistance could trigger renewed buying interest. VDA's Bollinger Band position is minus 12.53, indicating that the price is near the lower end of its recent range. This positioning often suggests that the stock is oversold, but it's important to confirm with other indicators before acting. The width of the bands is 0.083, reflecting relatively tight volatility, which can sometimes precede a breakout in either direction. Over the past year, NVDA has traded between a low of $86.62 and a high of $212.19. The current price is at 67.15% of this range, which places it closer to the middle part of its annual performance. This context helps investors gauge whether the stock is relatively cheap or expensive compared to its historical extreme. Risk management is key in trading. NVDA's risk-reward ratio is 18.03, which is relatively high and suggests that the potential reward outweighs the risk for certain strategies. The technical score is 33.03 and the trend quality index is 55.73, both of which provide additional context for evaluating the stock's technical setup. Looking at the last few trading days, NVDA has experienced a notable decline from $176.10 on December 17 to $170.94. This drop follows a period of sideways movement and highlights the increased selling pressure. Reviewing recent price action helps us understand the immediate context and whether the current trend is likely to continue or reverse. Summarize, NVDA is currently trading below most of its short and medium-term moving averages, with momentum and trend indicators pointing to continued weakness. However, the price remains above the 200-day SMA, suggesting that the long-term uptrend is still intact. Key support and resistance levels, along with oversold signals from the stochastic and Bollinger Bands, hint at the possibility of a technical bounce if buying interest return. As we wrap up this technical analysis of NVDA, remember that no single indicator tells the whole story. It's the combination of moving averages, momentum, volatility, and volume that provides a comprehensive view. Keep monitoring these signals, especially if you're considering a trade or investment. Stay tuned for more updates as market conditions evolve, and always use proper risk management in your trading decisions.